On to Bangladesh now. Just yesterday, that's the 16th of December, Bangladesh celebrated its 54th Victory Day, also known as Bijoy Divas. It's a day of a lot of significance for Bangladeshis as it marked the emergence of sovereign Bangladesh in 1971. But not just Bangladesh. Every year, this day is celebrated by India as well for its role in the liberation war. But what is known to be shared history has now reportedly transformed into a political tussle. After several leaders of the Muhammad Yunus-led interim government in Bangladesh on Monday said that the victory of 1971 belonged to Bangladesh alone and India was merely an ally in the struggle. Tonight, we are asking this question: how far is this from the truth? Rather, what are the facts? Let's just break it all down for you. On Monday, Prime Minister Modi shared a social media post commemorating those who contributed to India's historic victory in 1971. The post did not have any mention of Bangladesh, and not just now, earlier as well, Prime Minister Modi had not mentioned Bangladesh in the post that he made on Bijoy Divas. Take, for example, this tweet from 2023. Then what really changed this time around that drew sharp reactions from political leaders in Bangladesh? What really happened? Yunus's law advisor, Asif Nazrul, and student leader Hasnat Abdullah, and a member of Khaleda Zia's Bangladesh Nationalist Party, or the BNP, criticized Prime Minister Modi for not mentioning their country in his social media post. What's more, one of the student leaders presented the Prime Minister's message as a direct threat to Bangladesh's independence and territorial integrity. Not just that, this drew comments from several other politicians on social media, such as Ishraq Hussain of the BNP, who condemned Prime Minister Modi's remarks as being disrespectful to the martyrs who fought in the war. He also called it a move that could harm bilateral ties between the two countries. Speaking to Bangladeshi publication, Salahuddin Ahmad, a member of the BNP Standing Committee, expressed his discontent over Prime Minister Modi's post. You see, as per reports, the reactions from Bangladeshi leaders coming amid unprecedented tensions between the two sides. This even as India repeatedly has raised concern with the Yunus-led caretaker administration over attacks on Bangladesh's Hindu minorities, which intensified. In fact, coming back to what the Bangladeshi leaders seem to have claimed about India being a mere ally, let's just take a step back here and go down the lanes of history to understand what really went down during that period of struggle in 1971, to separate facts from fantasy and ask some straight questions. Number one, could Bangladesh have attained its liberation from Pakistan all by itself? Number two, were the Bangladeshi forces, also known as Mukti Bahini, with 20,000 soldiers and civilians, really equipped to handle the conflict on their own? Number three, could the Mukti Bahini have matched the might of the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force that took down the Pakistani forces? Number four, what about the soldiers, almost 93,000 of them, under A.A. Khan Niazi, who were taken as prisoners of war? Number five, what about the violence and atrocities unleashed against civilians of Bangladesh? You see, these are all critical questions. For those wondering, here are some facts. You see, the liberation war was triggered by Pakistan's military crackdown in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, to suppress a pro-independence movement following the 1970 elections. On December 3, 1971, Pakistan launched airstrikes on Indian air bases, to which the Indian Air Force retaliated by launching airstrikes. You see, geographically, it worked to India's advantage as the snow-capped Himalayas ruled out all the possibility of Chinese help for Pakistan. And the Indian Navy started a move towards Karachi. In the eastern part, the Indian Air Force was assisted by Mukti Bahini, which India took under its wings to train and build internal resistance against Pakistani forces. Thus, all signs telling of the fact that India had formally entered the war. Over the next 13 days, intense war was fought on both the eastern and western fronts. On the final day of the war, that is December 16, Niazi surrendered in front of the Indian commander, Jagjit Singh Arora, by signing what is known as the surrender instrument. This was reportedly called the largest surrender of its kind since World War II, which also begs an important question. Could Bangladesh have managed its victory without crucial diplomatic support internationally? And that's where India comes in again. As the Indian government, led by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, had lent strong political support for Bangladesh's cause. How was that made possible? Not only did Gandhi extend strong diplomatic support to the Bengali nationalist movement, which sought independence from Pakistan, but she also helped garner international support, including that of the Soviet Unions, for the Bangladeshi cause. By highlighting the human rights violations by the Pakistani military against the Bengali population. This is despite facing diplomatic challenges, particularly from the US and China, who were allies of Pakistan. Not just that, the conflict led to a massive influx of refugees into India, particularly in the states of West Bengal, Assam, Tripura. And what did India do? India provided shelter, food, medical aid to over 10 million refugees, reportedly, which begs another important question. Did the Bangladeshi leaders forget all of this? So do the statements by the Bangladeshi leaders even stand? You see, these are facts out there in the public domain and chronicled in history. And now, by deriding or trying to deride India's role in this struggle and trying to reduce it to a mere ally, has Bangladesh cut a rather sorry figure for itself and its freedom fighters. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.